The Spanish language is not a Latin American language. It's a language the Spanish conquistadors forced upon Latin American people.
All right. Okay, I think I have to do this. Come on, roll the intro. Hello everyone, Juan here, and I'm here to talk about a very different topic than what I usually talk about, and that is the representation in media. Of course, you can say, hey, this is a white privileged boy, he cannot talk about representation, he's a privileged cunt. To which I say, sort of, because I am white, but I am Twitter's worst nightmare, which is a white Latino. Okay? Having said that, it has come to my attention that there's a new show coming on Disney called Primos. And sorry if this video sounds a little bit improvised, but it actually boils my blood to even talk about this kind of thing. Because, to be honest, I feel tired of this shit. Yes, I just said it. I am tired of this shit. Every time I go into Twitter, into YouTube, into Facebook, any social media, I keep hearing people talking about, oh, we are actually quite progressive. We are representing the lower communities. We are representing those who are in the bottom. To which I say, how about you shut the fuck up and you listen to the Latino voices for the first time in your life? You see, there's something that I like to distinguish, and that is the difference between North American Latinos and actual Latinos. The North American Latinos, I'm gonna identify them as Hispanic compared to the Latinos in Latin America. Which are these? Well, to put it simply, let's say the people from Mexico, Ecuador, Puerto Rico, Uruguay, Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina, Brazil, etc. You name it, alright? The reason I got so tired of this topic is because I keep hearing people saying that they are representing the Latin American community when in reality they are just representing a very small minority that does not represent the entire demographic of what it means to be a Latino. You see, I have never seen any single show in my life that has represented Chilean, Venezuelan, Colombian, Argentinian, Uruguayan, Brazilian, Puerto Rico, Venezuelan, any of these cultures accordingly. If anything, I have seen Sofia Vergara representing Colombia accordingly. I have seen Ricardo Darín, Diego Luna, or even Alfonso Cuarón being good representatives of the Latino community. And this show called Oye Primos is actually a huge insult towards the Latino community, and I can say it myself. Because again, even though I am a white Latino myself, I am white privileged as the North American would say, I have more Latino culture than any of the fuckers that have ever worked on this show, and I can say it for certain. You see, Latin Americans are actually conformed of different cultures. These people say that Primos represents the Mexican culture in North America, but they are not a very good representation of Mexican culture in general, for you see, it's not the same culture from the people of Teotihuacan, of Puebla, of Guadalajara, or even the people from Acapulco, just to name a couple. These people are specifically representing the Mexicans, not the Mexicans per se, but the descendants of Mexicans who migrated to LA and are a second or third generation living in LA. So every time I hear anyone talking about how we are actually the result of Spanish colonization, that we're not actually Latinos, that we are Native Americans.
The Spanish language is not a Latin American language. It's a language the Spanish conquistadors forced upon Latin American people. The only reason we're Latin people and not Native American people is because of that distinction. So be mad at me all you want for misspelling words in Spanish. Be mad at me all you want for mispronouncing words in Spanish. That doesn't take away from the fact that I am a Mexican American, Native American woman. We're trying to make a good show. For kids that feel left out, for kids that are different, for kids who don't have a full grasp on any language, no matter where they live. And if you're going to be mad at that, I don't know. Be mad then.
I can say that it's bullshit because that happened many years ago. And yes, even though it was an atrocity to happen to Latin America, let me remind you, North Americans, that the latest invasion that we've ever received globally on all Latin America was not by the Spaniards, was not by the British, but by the North Americans. Yes, Operation Condor has literally, culturally, and socially destroyed all of Latin America in the 20th century. And you try to tell me that the Spaniards are the ones to blame for all the fucked up shit happening in all of Latin America. Also, if you're going to represent the Latin American community in a show for kids, at least do it right. What is this kind of stereotype of what a Latino kid should look like? What is this? Why? Why do all characters have to look brownish like Frida Kahlo with very thick eyebrows and very thick hair? If anything, this is more offensive than The Oblongs, a show that was made to make fun of people living in toxic wasteland. You're fucking kidding me. A show made to make fun of other people is more heartwarming than a Latino show made to represent the Latin American community. This is absolutely stupid. Hear it from my tone of voice that you will come to the conclusion that this is the opinion of an incel just complaining about, oh, what are you doing? Watching a Disney show? No, I am a Latino myself and I am tired of seeing this stereotype seen on the Latin American people, and I am tired of something even worse, and it's this kind of people telling Latin Americans how to think, what to do, what to wear, how to feel. I am tired of this gaslighting situation in which we cannot have an opinion on our own. You're telling Latin Americans that they are racist or offensive for simply voicing their opinions on something they don't like. Every time we voice our opinions, how is it that it is the North American people that get the most upset about? Do you remember the situation with Encanto? When they said that there could not be a white Colombian person in any Latin American representation. Did you notice? Have you ever seen any person from Latin America coming from, I don't know, Asian descent, from Jewish descent? Have you seen anyone in Latin America who happened to be a redhead? Because I'm telling you, there's a ton of them. I am one of them. Not redhead necessarily, but I am a white Latino. And if you say, oh, it is easy for you to say, you're a colonizer, you destroy Latin America, you are the result of a colonization process, to which I say, no. I am the result of a massive migration at the beginning of the 20th century because my family ran away from Europe from the hunger, from the war, and from all the shit that happened there in Europe. The same way that I can say that my ancestor origins also have Turkish and Irish, which happen to be slaves as well. So, for that I have to say, how is it that every time anyone is voicing their opinion on something they don't like or they find offensive, but it goes against the opinions of a North American, suddenly becomes a gaslighting situation in which we are the ones who are hurting other communities when you are actually stereotyping the Latin American community to begin with. Also, if you have some sort of respect for our community, you would understand that if you wanted to make an inclusive show, how about you do it in the native language of the Central Americans?
So be mad at me all you want for misspelling words in Spanish. Be mad at me all you want for mispronouncing words in Spanish. That doesn't take away from the fact that I am a Mexican-American, Native American woman.
Let's say you want to do a show about Paraguayan people. Are you going to make a show speaking Guarani? No, I thought so. So if you're going to make a show for Latin American people, talking about Latin American people, can you at least use the right terms? Oye primos is not right. It's oye primo or oigan primos. And that shit saying that it's your personal experience living in LA, again, not in Latin America, not in any Latino country, but rather LA, where they all be like, oye, oiga señor, can I purchase this iPhone? Can I get these AirPods, please? Por favor. This is not Latin America. This is just a stereotype that you gathered from watching other Latino people. And you know what? It only shows your ignorance towards what it means to be a true Latino. How is it that every time we see people from Cuba, it is only regarding someone dancing salsa? How come every time we see an Argentinian, it's always about inflation or drinking mate or football? How is it that every time we talk about Colombian people, we don't talk about the beautiful culture, but rather the drug addiction, the drug trafficking, and Pablo Escobar? You see, these people do not care about real representation. They only care about profiting. They care about appealing to a certain demographic and hanging to the idea of, we are progressive, we are representative. No, you're not. No, you are not. Because if that were the case, you would actually take the time to make a show accordingly. Because it has been done before. Have you ever seen Mucha Lucha? Have you ever seen Manny Rivera? These shows actually have a good representation in a fantasy world with Latino characters. And you know what? People from Latin America love it. Not because, oh, it is Latino, therefore I have to like it, but because they were genuinely good. But your show is actually an insult towards all Latinos that actually voice their opinions and are being gaslighted into shutting the fuck up. This is what you are. You're a patronizing asshole who just don't like hearing people saying what they actually feel. And you know what? This is the worst part of all. It's not surprising. Yeah, I'm not even that offended because I have seen this happening multiple times when North American people actually talk on behalf of the Latino community. If you actually want to hear the opinions of the Latin American people, let them talk. Shut the fuck up, listen to them, and pay attention to what they have to say. Because if you meet a very fragile person with Latin American origins in North America, it does not represent the entire Latin American culture. Let the Latino people talk. Hear their opinions. Listen to what they have to say. This is all I wanted to say. I know it's a rant, I know it's very patronizing, and I know it sounds angry as shit, but I am tired of listening to the North American people talking shit about people who have different opinions from them. It's like our voices are not being heard. It's like our voices don't matter to them because it hurts their profit. You want to listen to our opinions? Well, here's one of them from a white Latino, your worst nightmare. Thank you for watching and see you next time.